Hello everyone, this is Crota coming at you, giving you game 1 in a series. Well, no, not even a series. This is going to be a standalone game here on Amazonia, as it is going to be between Foggy and WarchiefRich. Let's go ahead and take a look at things over here. We see WarchiefRich spawning as the blue Night Elf player on the top right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Foggy is spawning as the red Night Elf. Yes, I know it is Tuesday. No, I did not get up to $100 in my Patreon. I just felt like I had to do a little bit of a bonus cast for you guys, since I did cast so absolutely tired yesterday that it felt like it affected my overall performance. Now let's go ahead and watch as things unfold here. Foggy against WarchiefRich. Most likely will be a Night Elf versus Night Elf, Demon Hunter versus Demon Hunter mirror match, as we are now going to go ahead and slow things down, getting close to that 2-minute mark. Demon Hunter will be popping on out there in just a moment. Meanwhile, the Demon Hunter should be popping out over here as well. There you have it. Double Demon Hunters, no big surprise there, as both sides are just going to be mana burning each other to death. Alright, Renegade Wither taking a little bit of damage here, as the Ancient of War tanking a fair bit of damage. However, the Renegade Wizard will get taken out pretty quickly, especially with that additional bonus mana burn damage. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter down over here are going to go ahead and finish things off as well. Things should be pretty much even in this overall game, as we are looking at a Ring of Protection +2 compared to a Gloves of Haste. Now, I do believe Gloves of Haste is a slightly better item, especially since the Demon Hunter is an agility-based hero that does a fair bit of damage. Now, also, he does have Gauntlets of Ogre Strength off on the north side. Meanwhile, the south side did not end up trying to get a little bit more. Instead, going after a Wisp. That Wisp should take 2 more shots, if I do believe. Yes, 1 more shot now. That Wisp is going to perhaps most likely get a detonation off. And, oh, the Demon Hunter comes in. And, oh, beautiful denial right there as the Demon Hunter is trying to finish that off. Oh, does he get... Oh, he does get the Wisp, but it is a detonation as a mana burn does go down. Down to 50 mana there, enough for another mana burn. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter over here has enough for a mana burn as well. They may come up to each other and then mana burn each other for essentially 0 damage. Foggy going down to 0. Huntress shaped, or WarchiefRich would actually be on the losing end of that, as he would actually have mana to lose. Back over here, Ancient of War now going into Huntresses. We are teching into Tree of Ages, as the Demon Hunter of Foggy now trying to clear out this 4-3-3 creep camp. Forest Troll Berserker should end up falling pretty quickly. Meanwhile, oh, what is this? Little bit of extra piercing damage there. Shadow Meld by that Archer there, keeping track of what that Demon Hunter is up to. Demon Hunter is sitting at level 2, does grab Slippers of Agility, so a slightly better item than the Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3. But we'll see what comes next, as the Demon Hunter also picks up a Circlet of Nobility. This has been a strategy that I've seen a lot more players using as of late. Say, being able to pick up a Circlet of Nobility on the Demon Hunter, actually perhaps buying it from the shop, I believe. Was he bought from the shop? Yes, it looks like it was bought from the shop, at least by the scouting route, as we are now looking at the rest of the rogues here getting finished off, and then finally 1 more Apprentice Wizard. Demon Hunter pretty much back up to full mana, back up to full stats. Meanwhile, off over here, Demon Hunter a little bit behind, may try and, yes, go after the Forest Troll Shadow Priest and then take down the remaining units. Huntress shape, or WarchiefRich, is actually in a rather curious spot. I didn't expect him to actually try and take down that Forest Troll, but he did want that Tome, as we're going to be looking at him dropping 3 items, picking them back up. And you can see how important that was. His hit points really fell down pretty significantly. At 8 strength, I believe that is 200 hit points, so 870 or 825 versus 675. There's the mana burn on both sides. Goblin Shredder now being added as well, as the Huntresses are not going to be that strong against that Goblin Shredder. Mana burn again, pretty much no surprise there. Goblin Shredder now perhaps likely to get surrounded, now trying to run back the other way. The Goblin Shredder deals 34 to 46 points, 34 to 61 points of damage, as the rest of the remaining units now try and retreat. Demon Hunter heading back to his base here. We can see Tree of Ages is up, waiting for those Ancients of Lore. Very, very common strategy, as we now look at Foggy opting to go for a Naga Sea Witch. Naga Sea Witch, very common hero, but instead we are going to be looking at a Keeper of the Grove from WarchiefRich. Keeper of the Grove, very effective at taking down fleeing units with that Entangle. That Entangle is a root that deals damage over time, and kind of commits your opponent to try and sticking around a little bit longer to try and fight back. Wand of Illusion now taken down or picked up as well. Demon Hunter going to finish things off here. Level 2 Demon Hunter versus level 1. Level 3 Demon Hunter versus level 2, but it's going to be a level 1 Keeper of the Grove and a level 1 Naga Sea Witch, unless Foggy Sea Witch reads a whole bunch of books in the next 20 seconds. Demon Hunter now looking to clear up this 5-3-3 creep camp. Could be doing that in just a moment. Demon Hunter off over here. Now going to try and perhaps finish off an Ancient of Wonders. Should be some easy pickings, actually, as the Ancient of Wonders takes a fair bit of damage. And now going after an Ancient of Lore. Ancient of Lore taking a fair bit, and it's going to cause a bit of reset on the second Ancient of Lore there. Ancient of Lore down to 300 some odd hit points. Meanwhile, this Ancient of Lore is going to see construction without a problem. There's a mana burn. Are we going to perhaps see a 100-point mana burn go the other way? Yes, we are. 50 hit point, 100-point mana burn as a Wisp does get taken down. No Staff of Teleportation, though. Not quite sure what's going to happen here as you see the wall off right there. Beautifully done. Demon Hunter actually stuck there. There's a mana burn again. Scroll of Town Portal. That Demon Hunter pretty much stuck between a Moonwell and an Altar of Elders. As much as a rock and a hard place as can be imagined, as the Keeper of the Grove now backs off, getting 40 experience. I do believe that is that a Huntress? I thought Huntresses were 42 experience. All right, let's go ahead and make our rounds once more. Demon Hunter pretty much back up to full hit points and mana after drinking from those Moonwells, draining all of them, and that is going to be a big problem. The Ancient of Wonders not yet done. And as long as Foggy has more moon juice in his Moonwells, he'll be able to recover his army slightly faster. Keeper of the Grove now heading off to the north, does spot all of this. There are Dryads out. There is now an Ensnare. Naga Sea Witch taking a 100-point mana burn, another 100-point mana burn coming through. Fork Lightning coming in as there goes a Dryad. Goblin Shredder now joining in on the fight. Mana burn to try and finish things off a little bit more. There is the repair onto the Goblin Shredder. The Goblin Shredder trying to run for the hills. Not going to make it, though. Oh, no, not going to make it as the Naga Sea Witch uses the Scroll of Town Portal to get the heck out of dodge and in a hurry. Keeper of the Grove down to 140 mana. We'll have 150 pretty shortly. Meanwhile, the Druids of the Claw gonna start, not rejuvenating any targets, rejuvenating the Dryad, since that Dryad was relatively low on life based on percentage of life. That rejuvenation gonna heal more than enough as the Wisp gets a detonation off there. All right, Foggy looking to finish things up off of that last Scroll of Town Portal. 40 over 50 supply compared to 35 over 50. WarchiefRich is in a little bit of a more precarious situation as we're trying to see how all of these things will unfold. Demon Hunter now up in that front line with those Huntresses. Those Huntresses are relatively low on hit points, though, and I don't see Foggy getting... Oh, there's the Bear. There's the Druid of the Claw. I don't know if he has Mastery or Adept training as of yet. Would be very important. Meanwhile, we already see Rejuvenation for WarchiefRich. We don't know. And Mastery training just now being researched. All right, I would say a little bit of a tech advantage there, as we are now looking at where are the Druids of the Claw. There is a Druid of the Claw, does have Adept training. Most likely will get the Huntress with the Rejuvenation here in just a moment. There you have it, as all the Moonwells on both sides have been pretty much drained and drained clear. 39 over 50 supply for the Night Elf. WarchiefRich on the top right. Meanwhile, Foggy on the bottom left, sitting at probably like 43. Yeah, 43 supply right there, as the remaining Druids of the Claw are going to go ahead and clean up all of these. All right, we can see that they are taking a bit more damage right now. They could go into that Mastery training, and that Mastery training would significantly help reduce the, I guess, the percentage-based damage that they are receiving. Now down to 374 hit points. Could go into Druid of the Claw, or Druid of the Claw form, yeah, pretty much, and be ready to go into that next all-important upcoming fight. Mana burn on both sides. Druid of the Claw getting mana burned, unable to go into Druid form. That was a heal. Oh, wait. Double, what's it called? Druid of the Claw illusions. One Staff of Preservation coming through, as the Demon Hunter now trying to finish things off here. All right, a lot of bears now making their way through. Naga Sea Witch trying to get away. And it looks as though the Demon Hunter gets entangled and some kills off the Keeper of the Grove, finishing the target. Beautiful, beautiful play there as the rejuvenation now goes down onto the Druid of the Claw. Mana burn now onto that Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter now in a little bit worse for wear situation, able to escape at 150 hit points. And that was a beautiful play right there. Staff of Preservation on that very low hit point Druid of the Claw after it had been mana burned, and then it should be able to rejoin in on the fight in just a moment. Is this the guy? Yes, he is. Down to 3 hit points. Talk about being in a very, very bad situation. Healing back up. Should get up to 400, maybe 425 hit points by the time that rejuvenation is done, and should be able to get into that bear form in just a moment. Is he going to be... 410. All right, so yes, rejuvenation does heal exactly 400 hit points over time. Meanwhile, Druid of the Claw now looking to push through here, getting in some extra damage onto the enforcers, hoping to get to level 4. Has a potion of lesser invulnerability, but more importantly, double scrolls of healing just in case there is a lot of collective damage. However, I believe with the way WarchiefRich has situated his army, he's not going to have that many problems with the scrolls of healing since he can focus down the units pretty quickly with that entangle. All right, last remaining enforcer and brigand's going to fall here. Demon Hunter going to get to 4, and Keeper of the Grove going to get to 3, and that may be just what the doctor ordered for WarchiefRich to take this game to the next step and perhaps solidify his victory. Coming back through, 50 over 50 supply for WarchiefRich, 49 over 60 for Foggy. And it's important to note that additional 10 supply that is not being used by Foggy, as that is an extra moon well, which will offer a little bit of a hand during the all-important mid or in-between battle fights where you need to rejuvenate, get back up to full before moving out again. All right, Demon Hunter sitting at 4, Keeper of the Grove sitting at 3, has level 1 Thorn's Aura, making the bears a little bit more vulnerable. Tome of Intelligence now being left behind. It looks like the Demon Hunter is simply going to ignore it. Nagasiwich could pick it up. No, Nagasiwich is not going to pick it up. There's a Fork Lightning there as the mana burn now goes through. Demon Hunter pretty much out of mana. There is a roar down onto the bear as the fight is raging on now. Druid of the Claw joining in on the fight with rejuvenation. Going to have a little bit of problems there. Meanwhile, the Demon Hunter, Foggy, gets a Staff of Preservation back home in order to stick around a little while longer. Meanwhile, the Moonwells down to about sub 100, if not, or 200, if not 100 mana each. All right. WarchiefRich didn't really get any big advantage there. He does have a scroll of protection, and he should be able to transfer another scroll of healing to that Demon Hunter, which could be very, very important. Fork Lightning does deal multiple damage across a lot of units. Foggy now making his way over here to the bottom right, gonna realize that it is completely empty, and we may have a battle right outside of this creep camp here, and that's exactly what we're looking at. Entangle onto a Druid of the Claw, pretty much as I mentioned. Fork Lightning, mana burn, both sides losing a lot. There is a Staff of Preservation to save a unit here. Ancient of War now trying to come through. Bears not even bothering to go into bear form here as another one now on the run. This is actually a horrible spot to be in. The Dryads look to finish things off here as Foggy now gets to level 4. Foggy is at level 4. Demon Hunter is at level 4 by both sides. The Demon Hunter, WarchiefRich may end up losing the Druid of the Claw as well. He's trying to get into harm's way and prevent this one Druid of the Claw from getting taken down. Nope, no Staff of Preservation. And that was more than enough to finish things off there, as a WarchiefRich's Huntress gets taken out in order to train up some additional units. Another Dryad being added. Wisp trying to run away. Foggy able to detonate one of those Wisps as we're now making our way to the top left. Top left expansions here. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter, Keeper of the Grove, Demon Hunter now making their way through. You see a handful of illusions. They're taking actually far too much damage. Oh, should they be backing off? There is no backing off there as the Demon Hunter now going to get illusion there. Ancient of War now taking down another Ancient Protector. The Demon Hunter needs to get away. Looks like he is not going to be able to. There he now backs off again. There's a mana burn onto some more units, as the Demon Hunter has just been mana burning many of these units to try and prevent rejuvenations. All right, another Staff of Preservation coming through. Dryads finishing each other off there, as the Demon Hunter now trying to chase down that Nagasiwich, who does not have Boots of Speed. The Demon Hunter should be able to make laps around that unit, but without Boots of Speed for himself, he's actually in a little bit of a precarious situation as well. All right, Keeper of the Grove now heading off to the north. Gonna go ahead and get taken down by the Demon Hunter at level 3, and that could be enough to swing things around. If whoever is able to pull away their lower hit point units and keep them out of trouble. There is another unit there. WarchiefRich gonna lose a bear, and there it goes. However, it looks like Foggy's gonna lose a bear as well. Level 5 now on the Demon Hunter, as the Demon Hunter goes after a Dryad. The Dryad taking a little bit of damage over time from that Orb of Venom. Meanwhile, we are going to be looking at a fight here, getting in some extra damage. The Demon Hunter purposely hitting separate targets to try and offset the amount of, or increase the amount of damage that all-important poison is going to be doing. All right, Demon Hunter now making its way over. We're going to see a mana burn. Yes, there's a mana burn. 78 hit point mana burn versus, I believe, 100. This Demon Hunter could easily mana burn all the way through Foggy's there, but we don't see that as of yet. Bear now heading and making their way back home. Keeper of the Grove just now about halfway after his death earlier. WC3 is ready to go. There is a couple more rejuvenations, and there is Dryads now ready to go, looking to defend this expansion and perhaps hold on to whatever lead they have. 50 over 60 compared to 52 over 70. They no longer have the army size advantage. That belongs to WarchiefRich. But the Demon Hunter is making good work of those units there, trying to get higher and higher level up. Where is that Keeper of the Grove? The Keeper of the Grove not show up yet? Wow, without a Keeper of the Grove, that was purely for items, and no experience was given since that Demon Hunter was level 5. All right, Rock Golem and Granite Golems looking to punish over here. Foggy taking a little bit of a risky move and trying to clear out this Granite Golem creep camp. Bears are now ready to go, and this could be the fight to end this game here. Let's take a look. Dryads now trying to push forward. Rejuvenation ready on the Druids of the Claw. Who's going to be taking that monster initial bit of damage? That is the big question, as the Bears are extremely strong in this matchup. All right, Bears now looking to just test the waters out here and just try and figure out what they could possibly be doing next. Keeper of the Grove with +8 damage. Sobi Mask, Gauntlets of Ogre Strength. As the Demon Hunter now making their way back down. All right, WarchiefRich does not have the bottom right-hand expansion creep camp. Mana burn on both sides. Demon Hunter now is the hero advantage going to be enough. Foggy now trying to escape with this Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter now down to, well, use the Scroll of Healing to try and stay alive. And we'll see whether or not that's going to be enough to stick around just long enough. Mana burn onto the WC3, who is now essentially out of mana. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter trying to finish off some of the remaining units, and it does not look good for Foggy. It looks like Huntress Shape is going to be able to finish off this fight with no real apparent details, and that is it. GG. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this bonus cast.